First, the USDA's Justice for All non-discriminatory statement, which simply states that all persons must be treated equally without regard to their race, color, national origin, sex, religious creed, disability, age, political beliefs, or reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activity, and that our institution provides an inclusive space for all. For more information on the And Justice for All statement, please visit the USDA's website.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Alaa. I'm from the Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Mercer County, Family Community Health Sciences Department SNAP-Ed program. So today we will be discussing beverages. We'll be talking about some beverages that we might be drinking often or not so often, and some healthy beverage alternatives. So we'll be looking at the added sugar content in these drinks. So the first thing I want to do is explain a conversion here. So when we're looking at nutrition facts labels, so for example, this is an example of a nutrition facts label. Oftentimes the nutrients are written in grams. So this is the conversion to sugar to change the grams to teaspoons. So we have 1 teaspoon of sugar equals 4 grams. And this just helps us better visualize how much sugar is in our drinks. So, and we'll go over that as we go through this mini lesson here. So this is 1 teaspoon. We know what that looks like. If somebody tells us there are 5 teaspoons of sugar in this drink, we have a better idea of what that looks like versus somebody telling us that there's 20 grams of sugar in this drink. So this is just gonna help us out a bit to determine how much sugar are in our drinks. So again, 1 teaspoon equals 4 grams. So let's look at some of the drinks that I have here in front of me. I have a sports drink here. We have some cola. We have iced tea. And last but not least is orange soda. So if I'm gonna look at the nutrition facts of this sports drink here, it's telling me that 12 ounces has 21 grams of sugar here. So what is 21 grams? We know now that 4 grams equals 1 teaspoon. So if I take 21 grams and divide that by 4 teaspoons, I'm gonna get 5.5 teaspoons. All right, so let's see. That one of these sugar packets equals 1 teaspoon. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.5, so it's almost 6 teaspoons right there. So in this one drink, there's 6 teaspoons. But let's look at the nutrition facts again. It's telling us the serving size is 12 ounces, but the entire container is bigger than 12 ounces. So it's telling us there's 2.5 servings per container. So if we're gonna drink this entire container, we're getting more than 5.5 teaspoons of sugar. That's why it's so important to look at the nutrition facts label and to see how much a serving size is. So if we are gonna drink the entire container, it's actually 13.75 teaspoons of sugar. So we went from 21 grams of sugar to 55 grams of sugar, and 55 divided by 4 is 13.75. So we have 6 packets here, and we're gonna almost double it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 more to make almost 14. So that's almost all the sugar is what you'd be consuming if you're drinking the entire container of this sports drink. All right. And generally, too much sugar in your diet and too much added sugar is something we want to limit. So oftentimes we talk about foods that we want to increase in our diet, like fruits and vegetables, but there are also certain nutrients that we want to make sure we limit, and added sugar is one of those. So let's go ahead and look at the cola. So here we have a can of cola. It's 41 grams of sugar in this one can. So we know now that 4 grams equals 1 teaspoon. So let's convert that. So if we do the math and take 41 grams divided by 4, we get 10.25 teaspoons of sugar. So let's look at how much sugar that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. So we're gonna be having all this sugar in this 1 can of cola. All right, so, okay, let's see. Maybe the iced tea is a little bit healthier. Maybe it has less sugar. This iced tea has 43 grams of sugar. So if we convert that, it's almost 11 teaspoons. So we take 43 divided by 4, and then if we get 11 teaspoons of sugar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So again, all the sugar is what we would be consuming if we are having 1 serving of this iced tea. So that's why it's always important to go back, look at the new nutrition facts labels. Is there a way that you can make this at home maybe and use a lot less sugar than this? You can dilute it with more water, add other herbs or flavors to bring out the taste rather than just adding sugar. So let's look at the orange soda here. So the orange soda is similar to the iced tea in that it has 43 grams of sugar in this 1 can. And again, that's about 11 teaspoons of sugar. So again, you'd be consuming all this in the 1 can of orange soda. So it goes to show that we can get a lot of sugar in small amounts of drinks. So it's really something we need to look out for because it's going to add a lot of calories in our diet, and the biggest source of empty calories in the American diet is coming from sugary drinks. So it is definitely something we want to limit. It can lead to weight gain, that leads to other health issues like diabetes, heart disease, and things like that. So it's absolutely something we want to limit in our diets, especially when it comes to these sugary drinks, something that we have rarely, if not at all, and always go for alternatives. So when you do have a sugar craving, go for things that have natural sugar versus added sugar. So all of these drinks and the sugar in them would be added sugar. If we want a source of natural sugar, that's going to come from fruit. So for example, 100% juice is a source of natural sugar. And you can always refer back to the nutrition label to see. It'll give you options. So if you look at the total sugars, it will break it down into added sugars as well. So it'll tell you how much of the sugars are added. So always refer back to the nutrition facts label and look at the sugar. And it'll tell you, again, how much sugar is added. And then we know now the conversion method. So we know how to get the amount of teaspoons. So how many teaspoons should we be having a day of added sugar? So here we have our added sugar intake should be less than 10% of your total daily calories. So what that means is if your daily calories is around 2,000 calories, that's what you talk to your doctor about, that's what you should be having, along with the amount that you exercise. If your diet is a 2,000 calorie diet, then you should be getting no more than 12.5 teaspoons of sugar. So it all depends on the amount that you're eating a day, the amount of calories that you're consuming, and that will let you know how much sugar or added sugar you should have in a day. And if you're having less than that, that's totally fine as well. If you're having sources of natural sugar, you don't need added sugar in your diet. And then for children as well, it's going to be less than that because their calorie intake tends to be less. So it is something that you want to watch out for in your diet and limit. And you could always go for alternatives. Find ways to make different drinks that have lower sugar. Go for water that's infused with some fruit or herbs. Go for 100% juice and mix that with some, dilute it with some water or seltzer to make fun drinks for yourself at home. And if you join me tomorrow at 11 o'clock as well, I'll also be showing a few holiday drinks that you can make at home that are healthy and delicious, and you can make for your friends and family for the holiday time. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you tomorrow.